Hey folks, this is movie Metal Rock McDonald here, aka Jarrett, and I tried to make this video again, but I said something that didn't make a whole lot of sense, and so I'm gonna start this video again, and it's about James Bond being quote unquote more sensitive. Um, now, okay, when when I heard that James Bond was gonna be more sensitive, um this just means he's gonna be less masculine. That's what basically means. He's gonna be less masculine. And he's gonna be I'm like, okay, first of all, a sensitive James Bond is not gonna work. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not. Let's be perfectly honest, it's not gonna work. Okay? And yeah, when we say men should be more sensitive, that just means that it's just a cool word for men to be less masculine and be more feminine. Okay? And these woke activists, especially the female, especially these feminist activists, they want to turn men into sissies. Okay, sissies. They want men to be feminine, and they want women to be masculine. Basically, they want men to be girly, some girly sissies, and they want men to act more manly than men. Okay, I want to tell you about James Bond. Men like James Bond. I watched Marilyn Mack's video on this. She said that James Bond is a male power fantasy. Yes, because he's a masculine character, and men like to see, and women too, like to see masculinity on the screen. Okay, most likely, okay, I'll say this. Yes, women like to see masculinity on screen as well because women find it attractive, and men want to see masculinity on 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 TV or on the big screen or in a comic book because because men because that is a power fantasy for men. Okay, there's a lot of men out there who probably wish they can sleep with like much as beautiful women as they please. Now, as a Christian, I do not support that, but a lot of men do have that fantasies. Okay, and believe it or not, some women don't want to admit this, but some of the women out there who say James Bond is sexist. Um, Deep down, they want to be banged by James Bond because deep down they find him attractive. Okay, you know what? Certain things I'm gonna tell it straight up here. Certain movie properties or TV, some of them are not meant to be made for women. Okay, James Bond was made to appeal to men. Okay, that is not sexist. That is the truth. James Bond was made to appeal to men. Okay, because James Bond movies and the novels are basically action and spy thrillers. Okay, um, but James Bond movies, I would categorize them as action movies, but for the most part, the more spy thrillers. I would say the later James Bond movies are more action films than than the older films. Because you think about it, the older James Bond movies didn't have a whole lot of action in them. Now, they had a decent amount of action in them, but they weren't like super action-packed movies. They were more spy thrillers. I would say the Pierce Brosnan and the Daniel Craig movies are more action films. Are more action films, but that's just my opinion. To be perfectly honest, um, my favorite James Bond movie um is um sorry I can't I've been blank. Casino Royale. That's my favorite. Now, is it perfect? No. Um, I don't care for the whole poker scene. I know the reason why it's in it though. It's part of the plot, but I would say that the poker scene in the movie is probably the weakest scene in the movie in my opinion. But besides that, I love that movie. I think it's one of the best action scenes out of all the James Bond. I love the story behind it. I think it's well shot, well made. Is I think it's like the second James Bond movie that Martin Campbell made. Um, Second favorite, this is an unpopular opinion. It will be Tomorrow Never Dies. I think that's like the second Pierce Brosnan movie. People say, "What? You don't like GoldenEye?" I don't get me wrong, I love GoldenEye. GoldenEye is a great movie, but I I love Tomorrow Never Dies a lot more. I like that it's shorter. I like that it moves at a faster pace. I like there's more action in the film. Um, More action in the film. Now, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. When I first saw GoldenEye, I didn't like it. I'm like, oh my god, this movie sucks. I used to think GoldenEye sucks, but the more I watched it, I tend I the more I watched it now, I tend to love that movie a lot more. And I would say this: GoldenEye has a better story than Tomorrow Never Dies, but I think Tomorrow Never Dies is a better action movie than GoldenEye. That's my personal opinion. Some James Bond fans might find that blasphemous, but that's just me personally. Um, Third favorite will be only twice. That's my third favorite because I like the Japanese setting. Um, I love the climax in the volcano. I love the little helicopter chase. I The little helicopter chase with little Nelly was probably the best action scene in the entire movie. So yeah, I'm not a big diehard James Bond fan, but I am a casual fan. Okay, I do own some of his movies. Now that being said, I'll go back to the James Bond being quote unquote more sensitive. Um, this is a code word for let's turn James Bond into a sissy. That's just what it is. Um, and it was like James Bond was like this was into a sissy. Now, also the problem in being born more sensitive is him to be more emotional. Okay, I'm not a spy. I've never been one, but I'm pretty sure in that line of work you cannot be very emotional because you did, you'll probably get you killed. Now that's kind of odd to say because James Bond movies are not realistic, and if anybody did that in real life, they'd be dead. But But let's just say in a real life situation, I'm pretty sure a spy or a soldier, if they showed a lot of emotion, if they let their emotions control them, they'll most likely be dead. Like, for real. Yeah, James Bond has to be more sensitive. And and also I read the title of the article by the Telegraph. Um, let's say there'd be evolve around more women. I'm thinking that the Bond girls are going to have more screen time than James Bond himself we need we need that women empowerment. Okay, first of all, the James Bond girls always had been more like the supporting characters in the James Bond movies. Okay, and there's some of them. There's some I have watched some James Bond movies where the Bond girls don't get that much screen time. Okay, the very first James Bond movie, Doctor No, um, I can't remember the actress' name, but the character, I think the character name is Ursula. It's been a while since I watched it. Oh, I went to the movie once. I think her name is Ursula. I can't remember if the character name is Ursula or the actress name is Ursula. But she was a popular James Bond girl because the first scene in the movie she was in a bikini. Okay, that movie, the James Bond girl movie didn't get much screen time. Okay, a lot of James Bond movies, the Bond girl does not get much screen time. It's because people watch James Bond for James Bond, not for the Bond girls. Okay. Now James Bond teaming up with a Bond with a theme with a with a chick in the movies was nothing new, but they were never the main focus of the film franchise. The main focus was on James Bond himself, 007. Now, yeah, and by these woke activists, they want to destroy everything a man likes. Okay, they want to feminize everything, and some things are not meant to be feminized. Okay, let's be perfectly honest. Not everything is meant to be feminized. Okay, that'll be like me, the new Barbie movie that's coming out with Margot Robbie. That'll be like me busting in and say, "Hey, this Barbie movie is too girly. It needs to have more fighting, more violence in it to make it more manly." And it got released, and little girls gonna be like, and women, mainly women who are probably in their 30s, older, who grew up playing with Barbies, or women in their early 20s who grew up playing with Barbies as little girls. Like, what is this? This is not Barbie. This is a Barbie. This is what is this? And that's basically James Bond. Like if you're trying to hijack something and trying to make it more feminine, trying to make it more feminine, it's you're just destroying it. Okay. And there are some properties out there that were made to appeal to men, and these feminazis need to um recognize that. Okay. It's just that is the truth. That's not sexist. Now, when I say certain properties were made to appeal to men, I'm not saying women can enjoy them, okay? I'm not saying women can't enjoy James Bond movies. I'm not saying women can't enjoy action films in general. They can, but action movies in general, not just including James Bond movies, but action movies in general were made to appeal to men, okay? And the reason why action movies appeal to men is because action movies, more specifically the ones with a male lead in them, is a power fantasy. And the only mainstream, only like the mainstream, okay, only two mainstream horror movies that have kept masculinity in the movies was the Fallen series with the Fallen movies with Gerard Butler. You know what movies I'm talking about. The Half Fallen series, like Lopez has fallen, Lynn has fallen, Angel has fallen. Those movies have kept masculinity in there, okay? Because Gerard Butler's character, Mike Bennon, I think Gerard Butler's character, he's a very masculine character in that movies. And the John Wick movies, John Wick, both the John Wick movies and the Fallen series with Gerard Butler are very much a male power fantasy movies, okay? And that's the reason why men love those movies so much, because it's a male power fantasy, okay? And guess what? Those movies did very well, okay? Especially John Wick, okay? Yeah, there are certain properties that are made to appeal to women and girls, and there's properties that were made to appeal to men, okay? And hijacking something that was made to appeal to men because, and you want to destroy something that a man likes, it's selfish and it's narcissistic. And I'll end this video right here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to rate, subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye.